So part 2 of this today, that somehow in the 3 examples I missed on all 3, is what happens if you get into a situation. I'm going to put this first one down. We're back on page 9 in case you have moved through here. And so I'm going to go through. I'm going to solve this. It seems like it's going to be normal. I'm like, all right, so we get going. Okay, I'm minusing 10. I'll do the opposite. Okay, that's pretty normal so far. Then I get to this next step. You're like, what's the big deal? You're multiplying by -6. So we're going to divide by -6. Here's the thing, though. If you divide both sides by a negative, you have to flip the inequality arrow the other direction or it messes things up. So let me have us put this over here for a second. Okay. If you divide both sides by a negative, you have to flip the arrow. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the wrong part of what you're looking for. So for instance here, okay, negative divided by negative is positive. We got that part. Flipping my arrow here, you're like, Hardy, there's no line for 3. Well, it's between 2 and 4. So we'll go in between. Still going to be open because we're going to the right. We don't have the arrow underneath. Now, when I do the other part, I'm doing the same idea. I'm like, okay, I want to get the 7K alone. We're going to add that one over. Now, here's why I want to make sure we don't get confusion. So I look at this one, and I go, okay, so I'm dividing by 7. Now, Hardy, there's a negative right there, so I flip the arrow, right? No, because here, I'm not dividing by a negative, okay? Here, we divided by a negative. That's why I had to flip it. Not dividing by a negative there. That one stays the same. That's a little bit interesting of an idea here. So I've got my -9, it's or equal to, and it's pointing at K, which again is less than. Because let's just say you hadn't thought about or you didn't know about the flip before. Both of your arrows would have been going left, and you've been like, wait, something's not right here. At least I hope you'd think that. So now your or looks like an or, going both ways. But that's a little something that we've got to watch out for, because that does happen a couple of times on this sheet. So if you end up having to divide both sides by a negative, okay, we've got to make sure that arrow gets flipped. I'm going to even put a little star here by that, just to make sure that we see that part. So thank you for mentioning that to me. I don't know how I missed it when there were 3 of them there, but it happens. So again, we'll